Hello, everybody. Welcome in, squad. Hope you're doing well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. First time in a minute. We're back with the pad on a Friday. Now, 2 weeks ago, it got canceled because I wasn't feeling good. Last week, it didn't get canceled. I just didn't show up because I overslept and then got mad at Liana for waking me up. So that's where we landed. But we're here today. We're here right now, and we're going to have a good time. We're going to make up for lost time. This was a very busy week. As all of you know, we had, not only did we have the finale of the Traitors, we had the premiere of Survivor 50. I know some of you have already watched House of Villains. Some of us have not finished it. Please, no spoilers. Australian Survivor premiered. It's been busy. So that means we also have a lot to talk about. So that's also a good thing. So let me go ahead. Before I say hello to the early chatters, which I usually like doing immediately, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go pull up the form and have that be open in case anyone wants to submit any questions early. They have the power to do so while I say hello to the early chatters. Okay, deal. Cool, cool. There we go. Form is now open. If you're new here, you don't know what I'm just meant by what I said. Every week on Fridays, I basically answer any question y'all have. I talk to y'all. I give advice if you want it, and you have two methods of doing that. Either putting it in the chat, I read everything there, or you put it in the form if you want it to be anonymous and I can read it off from there. Okay, form is now open, so while you go ahead and do that, I'm going to say hello to the early chatters here. Samantha, welcome in. Proud Sam, thank you with the 16 months. Appreciate you, Sam. Thank you so much. Jen, welcome in. Sam, Proud Sam, hope you're doing well. Christian Mingle, happy bad to you. Chalet, happy bad to you. Jinx, welcome in. What a prank. There's no prank. Valencia, hello, welcome in. The prank being I'm here. Yes. And Hero, what's up? What's up? Liv, hello. Sal's, yeah. Amy in the building. We got Kansas, what's up? We got Daisy. Good evening, Daisy. Hello and welcome in. AJ Daniels in the building. We got Genraz in the building. We got Soja. What up? Can of Biscuits. Grace. We've got Lori, of course. Jenna Lee. He's got the bacon stripper shirt. It's strips, not stripper. Laura, hello. Kansas is my favorite hoodie. Thank you, Kansas. Thank you so much. Love is Blind also. Is it the finale of Love is Blind, Proud Sam? It's Yami. Thank you for the promise. Appreciate it. Great season of Traitors coverage. Thank you so much, chat. It is behind us. It's not over. We still have a couple more bits and bobs to go through, but it kind of came and went, weirdly enough. I know I talked about it last night with Rob, and I said that it was 8 months worth of coverage, but it really felt like it was not even 8 weeks, 8 days. It was so quick. Lauren, thank you for the 61 months. Appreciate you. Thank you. And Hero says, tipsy off a single beer and eating Popeye, so very ready for that. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Love that for you, End Hero. He woke up. How dare you? How dare you? Facts, though. Jade, thank you for the primes. I appreciate it. Welcome in. Thank you for using your one prime here on me for month number. Boom, boom. 1111. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, chat. What are we saying tonight? Because let me tell you, I feel like I went through it this week. My sleep schedule has finally been fixed, which means I'm usually asleep by like 11 p.m. now. 11 p.m. to midnight, which is so not me. But it has been the case for the last couple of weeks now. Cool Rider, thank you for the prime sub. Appreciate it. Welcome back from number 53. I used to be awake till like what, 3 a.m., 4 a.m. That man is gone. I don't remember the last time I was awake at that time. It's bittersweet. No more 2 periods of sleep. No, since this week. So what happened this week was I recorded 2 Australian Survivor pods with Shannon, and because Shannon is obviously in Australia, I had to stay up late to record them. Now, I say stay up late, I mean like 11 p.m. my time. And the reason that's late for me is because typically I've been falling asleep by like 9 or 10. And at that point, I am exhausted. So I'll just pass out. And then that's what caused the double rounds of sleep. We no longer have that, thankfully. So, do you think skipping the pad the last couple of weeks helped you get on track? Actually, I don't. Because the thing is, you can make the argument of like, well, don't you stay up late to do the pad? And that, there's a level of that. But I think ultimately for me, I wasn't staying up that, like I would have let, because right now it's 9 p.m. my time, right? Peek behind the curtain. It's 9:30. If this stream goes 2 hours, right? We're done by 11 or 11:30 if I've started a little later. And that's it. The stream's done. I can still go to bed and the sleep schedule is maintained if I wanted it to be. I think it just all comes down to this, is that I've not had the energy to stay up till like 4 a.m. because I've not been taking long naps during the day either. And I've also not been sleeping in during the mornings. So, the one and only Jimmy in the town. Thank you for the 64 months. Jimmy, Nintendo 64 style. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for the tier 2. Tell me how I did. I'm just getting worse and I've got to turn it around. Honestly, it came down to just not being able to fall asleep one day and staying up extremely late. Like we're talking 28 hours. And then passing out after that, you know? Blue light of computer screens do still mess with your circadian rhythms though. Oh, for sure. That's why it's important to wear my glasses when I'm on the computer. I only don't wear them for streaming or podcasts. And even then I still try and wear them where I can. But otherwise they're on my face the entire time. So, yeah. Yep. Hold on. Let me just close all these extra tabs we have open for absolutely no reason, mind you. Then open this one. But yeah, February's almost done also. We're, a day away from February being done, which is kind of unbelievable to me. Birthday month came and went like it was nothing, chat. How many final interviews do you have for Traitors? We have nothing. I'll be honest. We do not have any at the moment scheduled, unfortunately. So, it is what it is. Amy, my bad. Didn't mean to get in the way of your texting. I'm not wearing my glasses currently because the reflection from the light is not great for the camera. If that makes sense. But also, I'm wearing it every other time when I'm not on, so it's fine. Daylight savings time change next weekend. Oh, dear God. When? Fuck. Hold on. Spring forward, right? Oh, it's on Liana's birthday. Lovely. At 2 a.m. So we'll go from 1:59 to 3? No. Yeah, 1:59 to 3. Fucking hell. Great. I mean, if I'm asleep, I think I'll be okay. Hopefully, though. Fingers crossed. We'll see. Bought my tickets to see Ron Punch on June 5th. Hey, enjoy, Lori. By the end of the season, are you ready for a break or do you want it to continue on? Maybe a very season to season? Kellyanne, so when I did Ireland, when I did Celebrity UK, when I did UK regular, when I did Canada, I was fine. Doing the US, I'm ready for the break. I think it's a healthy thing that the break is happening now. Let me get like a month off even, or 2. I don't know when Australia and New Zealand are coming. But let me get a little bit of break before we jump into those. I think that covering a US season, specifically a quote-unquote celebrity season of the US, is a lot more exhausting than covering any other iteration of the show. Because I think it's louder. The fandom is more active. And I say the fandom, it's because our audience is, and the people who, you know, come across our podcast are more regional to us. But also it comes with a lot of angry noises, angry people. So that was a little bit tough. But I think the break is just nice also because I feel like I've just been go for so long now that it'll be nice to focus back. I think I need to repair the 90 Day Fiancé podcast, quite frankly. I feel like that's taken the curb for quite a bit now. It'll be nice to just watch Survivor without any stress of like having to cover it. It'll be nice to watch any other show now and just like chill on it, you know? I think so because I hated getting dark so early, you know, because I'm a night owl. Right. I was wanting to catch one of his shows to Lori. Maybe I'll look into going to Indy. It's worth it. I think it'll be fun to go. Liana gets a 23-hour birthday. Pretty much. Man, Lord, no one tell her. Actually, she might be okay with that, low-key. This week has been great. TV Survivor premiere, finale, House of Villains premiere, and tonight's Drag Race were all great. And if you're an Australian Survivor fan, that was a very fun start also so far. I can see that also. More preseason research and exit press. Yes. I mean, a profile for every single player. And then we got more. I think we got more exit interviews this season than any other season. I think. Don't quote me on that. Feel free to quote me on that. I think we did. Even though I still feel like we didn't get quite a few. We currently have how is David doing as host? He's okay. Like, I think he's doing good with, the position he's in. I think he's still no JLP, but I think it's fine. He's doing a serviceable job. Like I said on the pod, I don't love his voiceover work. Oh, where's the form? I did not notice that the form was not pinned. 1 second. There's the form, exclamation advice, in case you want to put it there. And then I'm going to put it up for an hour. How about that? Can do the word form to save my life. It happens sometimes. I know it didn't help with some negative noise, but I'm confident this thing. Stop watching me too and just enjoy the pods. I don't think you've contributed to the negative noise. To be clear, the negative noise I'm referring to is not so much anything I'm seeing in my chat really at all, or on my specific like Blue Sky page or like X page or Twitter. So I'm such a dick. I said I was never gonna call it X, and here I was calling it Twitter. But it's mostly seeing like the narrative on TikTok, and then seeing stuff on forums, and then honestly, it's mostly that's very irritating to me. And then the YouTube comments can be tough also. It's just one of those things where I'm never going to as RHAP, I feel like we're never giving the gamers enough credit, and we're never giving the housewives enough credit. So you're just in a rock and a hard place. I've literally been talking about how I thought Rob's game was pretty decent, and people who loved Rob's game still think I wasn't giving him enough. And then people who didn't like Rob's game were like, I'm giving him too much credit. And I was like, bruh, this is tiring. Please. You're all right. Just leave me alone, please. Do I feel like he tried to sound like JLP? I mean, it makes sense. If it's something everyone's used to, they're going to try and get it as close as possible to that. Being born 1 minute before April Fool's Day, I celebrate for 2 minutes. 2 minutes months. What's the 2 minutes months? Hannah, thank you for the 64 months. Appreciate you. Welcome in. Mandy, what's good? You sometimes get shown things related to something you enjoy that are people being brutal assholes about negativity makes the algorithm go around. The algorithm doesn't care if it's positive versions of things you like or negative. It's still going to give them to you. I've been seeing a lot of people put their ratings out for best traders on the show. And right before I got on here, I saw one that not bothered me, but it was bad. It was a bad list. Let me see what I can think of highlighting to highlight how bad it was. Boston Rob was 6th on that list. I don't think Boston Rob is in the top 6 of traders we've had on the US seasons. Dan was 10th. I don't know how Dan made it to almost the top half. Wild. Phaedra was like 8th, which I didn't agree with. I don't remember who they had 3rd. Worst ring I've ever seen in my life, says JC. Subtract that extra month. Gotcha. All right, we have a couple questions in the forum already. Also, Twitch being shady with the noties. I was prepping for oh my god, Mandy, you didn't believe in me. You thought I wasn't gonna make it. Responding, welcome in. Thank you with the 20 stream streak. Boston was a terrible trader. A fun one, but terrible. Yeah, he was never going to win. So, all right, let's see. RP update. What's been happening? Ooh. Chat, the RP updates could be a shell shocker because I don't think I've given you an proper RP update in like 3 weeks. Y'all know 2 characters I have, right? Those 2 characters are Ism, who you have seen. Ism's the one you have followed the story of. And then Oxford, who is my criminal/rapper character. Ism's had like no play. Ism's played like I've been on Ism for like maybe 4 times. In the last like 3 weeks, but Oxford has been going through it. As Oxford, we were in a gang. The gang was going well. Then we got into a couple of wars, not wars, beefs. Then the gang kind of felt like it wasn't working. Then we got kidnapped and shot by our former gang. And now we started a new gang. And then today, Ox finally got his record label building. So we are officially owners of the record label in the server, which is absolutely incredible. That happened. I've written and done 2 more songs since y'all have last heard Ox, I think. So we've got that going. Ox will not be rocking overalls. What the fuck? No. There are times when I wish we could get a season 3 redo because we don't have Boston Rob because of how much him changed everything. Oh, you mean if we went along without Rob being there, that would have been very different. I agree. No, this wasn't so much kidnapped. Basically what happened was there was this big storyline to take down the kingpin to all to the entire gang side of things. And we were told this information as a gang. The next day we left the gang, but now we were leaving with this information that all these gangs are going to kill this kingpin. And so some of the people that were in charge of organizing this abduction of the kingpin were like, they can't know this information because this is gang business, not non-gang business. So a general RP rule for most cities is when you leave a gang, you get bled out, which means they shoot you and you, quote unquote, are left for dead, so that when you wake up, you do not remember anything of what your gang used to do and how they did. It's kind of closing that door shut. You don't leave with all the information you knew. And so they did that to us so that we would forget that the kingpin was being killed the next day. So we were not a part of that, basically. I think I actually forced my algorithm on Facebook and TikTok to balance out the negativity of X. Hilariously, that means I see a lot of clips of British comedy. And British comedy is brilliant. So I'm not mad at that at all. Thank you so much, chat. But yeah, no, it's been very fun. RP has been such a fun time for me. And maybe one day I'll show y'all who Oxford really is. But Oxford has been... I don't think I've ever shown you Oxford outside of talking about him. I don't think we've ever streamed as Oxford. We've only streamed as the news. So... am I wrong? Is there Love Island 2 for 2 now on the Traitors? Oh, no. You're not right because one of the people you're mentioning won before they went on Love Island. That would be like counting Suri as a Big Brother winner of the Traitors, which would not be the case. But also, I wouldn't say how Aaron won and how Rob won are the same. You know what I mean? Very different. But I think Rob may have ruined the Love Islanders for all future now, because I think more of them are going to get cast now, and I think a lot of people are going to not let a Love Islander just get away with it. I mean, I don't think they're going to let it repeat. That's not going to happen. I feel like I need to put some more lighting in here. 1 second. There we go. Buckeye, welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Hello. The form is open, y'all. If you want to put your questions in, feel free to do so. We have one more question so far in the form left, which is more of an advice question. Do you have any advice for dealing with random bouts of anxiety? It's not all the time. I just find I have it a rare night that I feel anxious about everything going on in my life, from health, age, family, and I have a hard time not getting emotional about it for no reason. This has never been me in the past, but since a health scare a few years ago, I have very anxious nights once in a while. Thanks for any advice. So I will say, for me, I get random bouts of anxiety, not often, but also like you, infrequently, and sometimes, it just happens. The best advice I have for that, I just distract myself. I will watch videos, I will watch a movie, watch a show, play games, because I know it's going to pass, but I can't not think about it in that moment unless I distract myself. So that's kind of the way I go about it. Is it the healthy move? Probably not. Is there a better way to deal with it? Potentially. But that's how I deal with it personally. So now you know. Johnny on Traitors would be something. Johnny who? Traitors will last a while at this rate. Meta will loop and Love Island will eventually get away with murder again. Yeah, I mean, just like we talked about the Housewives getting their lick, and then this year the Housewives did decent. Then the gamers suffered. Then next year the gamers will probably be fine. So I believe that the Faithfuls lost as soon as the Skater twins bailed at the round table on Natalie. I would say they lost before that. But I think that was their... It was like they had already lost before that. It was like they were drawing dead, and then there was a pulse. And it was like, oh my God, could they actually? And then it looked like it was going, and then it just fizzled out immediately. And then it went sideways again. Look into physical things you can do to combat stress. I know there is something that happens in my body when I sing where my cortisol goes down. Liana swears by going for a workout. She says that would be good. Johnny Middlebrooks. Johnny would be a good one. I was more so thinking of I think there's a lot of Love Island USA women that would be good for the show that will get their chance at some point. Your Janaes, your Leahs, your Hudas. Like there's so many. Johnny, though, I feel like is making the rounds. So Johnny is a good shout. Justine is a great shout also, I think. They had a Hail Mary and flubbed it. Yes. Chad, if I asked you who was your favorite faithful, or no, who was the best faithful this year, who would you say? Because I'm still thinking to Rob saying Tara, and I just can't agree with him, I really can't. I really cannot. Rob is a funny answer. No, okay. Objectively, we can't say our Rob since he went out early. I'm more so looking for if there was a DVD cover, Survivor-esque, right? And they're putting... Actually, that may be a bad way to put it, because I think then you do put... like, Johnny ends up on there. I did see the moment with Rob. Mark? See, I'm very frustrated with the Mark and Kristen edit. I feel like they were onto more than the show would let us see. So. Out of the end of the Faithfuls that made it far in the game played that all that well. I agree. I think Natalie, oh God, yeah, it's tough. It's tough to also, it's very tough to dissect a Faithful game when the edit is overwhelmingly traitor induced. And I think I forgot about that because the last time we had a traitor win was season 1. Season 2 and 3, the traitors are still the stars of the show, but they had no choice but to really highlight the games of the Faithful that were going to win. So. Zemo, thank you for the primes. Appreciate it. Welcome back from month number 10. Thank you. I just rewatched the end of the Trader season 1 and forgot how good that was. Suri did do a job on those Faithfuls. Like, I think people forget. I mean, everyone's quick to be like, oh, well, Suri played against civilians and Rob played against the full cast of like people. And I was like, okay, well, that doesn't matter. Because I would argue that some of the civilians have nothing to lose, so they're going to play a lot harder and are going to be a lot more pushy, even to a certain degree. Like, I think I saw a clip today from Colton who was like, we get contracts to be on this show, so I think most of us were not even paying attention to the money. I think the civilians, I think, are hungrier for the money. But I think also there's something to be said about, again, my big thing with Suri is Suri has been on, 4 seasons of Survivor before the Traitors, and was a active strategic threat in all of them. And even if the argument is, well, they didn't know her, she was in the castle with people who knew her very well. Rachel Riley, Stephanie are there to remind everybody, hey, this player is a player. Cody knew. Like, I think there were enough people that could have spread the, hey, Suri's dangerous. She still made it to the end against three people, one a fellow trader. The fellow trader basically backs out, and then the other two don't put together that, hey, Suri's bad. We need to get rid of Suri. They really were like, we're ending it as a family, and then they got duped. I think also there's something to be said about, I'm pretty sure Suri never caught a vote, did she? Let me double check. Again, I hate saying the word again. Now I feel like I say it a lot. But I think the other thing I want to say is that ultimately, if your pick is still Rob, that's fine. But I think for me, I think people often forget how season 1 went down. Let me see. Voting. Searching for Suri's name. Suri's name never was written down once. That is very difficult to pull off, I think. Like, extremely difficult to pull off. All right, let me see what you're saying, chat. I feel like Natalie, because if the vote with Tara and Johnny went her way, who knows who Eric would have killed on his own. If it was one of the three, then it might have been one of them. But in that case, Mark is still there, and there's a potential 3 faithfuls that could have taken it. I think if Rob had gone out at final 6, was it final 6 or was it final? Oh, it's because of the fucking dagger that was there. If Rob had somehow left that night, I think the faithfuls win it. I don't trust Mark to get all the way to the end and pull the W out. Did it seem like a lot of interviews were, no, yeah, I knew it was Rob the whole time. It just wasn't shown. No, that's true. There wasn't a lot of people admitting to it. A lot of people were just like, nope, I didn't think it at all. I think you may have been more frustrated because the play of the faithfuls and the UK versions are more balanced. I think the edit of the UK is better. Like, it is more balanced between faithfuls and traitors. I think that this season was just such a dominant win for the traitor that they went out of their way to really showcase that. But I think it came at the expense of other people. And whether that means they didn't value the people that were left at the end or not, that's anyone's guess. I think also, yeah, that's anyone's guess. Anyone in East Arizona know where I can get Scottish egg? Ooh, very specific. Ask AZ. I think if Rob had gone out, Eric would have just sobbed and confessed right then and there. But people could also have to face the social injustice and navigate biases that people have. Rob doesn't have any of those issues and never will. I think that, we talked about this on the pod last night, but one of the things that I'm always impressed by is someone who knows what they have and uses it to the best of their ability. And I think that Rob recognized how people see him and used that very well. Is it the same production that is UK and US? It's the same. I think so. I don't know if I don't think it's the same editing team, but I think it's the same people that film it. Maybe. Yeah, UK definitely, I feel like shells out for music way more than US does, I think. Next question is, Pooya, has Rob said if Alan knows about RGB traders and that Rob dressed up like in multiple costumes if Alan doesn't know he needs to? I've never asked him, and I don't think he's asked Alan, hey, have you seen me do this? I think it's a no. I assume if it had happened, I would have heard about it. Softball that covered with sausage, breaded, and deep fried. Ooh, I have seen this actually, AZ. It's a good thing. I like it. Is your sweatshirt made by Adam? How dare you? This is an epic mealtime hoodie. Yeah. This was my first hoodie I ever bought in Canada when I moved. I figured out why UK has better music. The BBC made a blanket deal with music companies and all songs cost one price. Oh, interesting. I still haven't caught up on UK and some of the other international seasons. Just saying, specifically US, it was good to have another trader win. My recollection is also that it was similar, bitter at the reunion. It's just a game that gives that result, but more traders wins, more people recognizing that as part of the game. Yes. And I think that here's the thing. I think that when Suri won, a lot of the people out there were like, no, that was mean. Suri did them dirty, blobbity, bloobity, boobity, bobbity. I think that getting a winner like Rob Roush to win now is a net positive. And I know it's unfair and it's bullshit, because I do think that more of the casuals are respecting Rob more than they are Suri. And that is a whole other conversation. But I think I would like for people to respect and understand that this is a game. And also, I think I'm going to celebrate Maura Higgins for many years to come, because the way Maura just accepted that he bested her, the way she did not get angry at this man, the way she didn't shade this man, I think was very good. I mean, as much as it wasn't good TV, I think it was good for the future of the franchise, because I'm hoping more people can handle it with grace if they are bested. And if someone plays this game, I would hope that the audience can see it as a game more so than attacking the people who are, you know, going about their day. Because I do think that when all is said and done, because Maura wasn't hella angry at Rob, I think Rob's game will be held in higher regard moving forward. This type of gameplay will be held in higher regard moving forward. Because if you make Maura Higgins cry, right? Like cry, I am betrayed, I'm never trusting anybody in my life again, in a very serious way, I think that makes people not want to be happy for this win. Suri was a goddess for how she won and took the pot. Yes. Not a team game. Yes, the way people get mad when a trader cuts out a trader is weird. And honestly, the way people get mad at faithfuls taking out other faithfuls is also weird. Like, I understand the frustration. I think it's more of a just own it. I think, you know how like Candace was like, just own it. Own that you wanted to win alone. I was like, oh, that's not really what's going on here. But I do wish that, like, for example, if Johnny and Tara actively just wanted Natalie out to get a step closer together, I'm fine with that. That's their choice. It's if they were like, no, we thought you were a traitor, and oh, you're not. It's like, well, then why did you spend all this time like thinking that she's not a traitor? But yeah, that look, I've watched that moment with Maura and Rob like 100 times now. It doesn't get better than that. When she literally tried to fake him out, that was cinema. When they stopped the music for the reaction, that was cinema. The whole thing was phenomenal. Also, I didn't talk about this on the pod. I think I forgot about this. I think that what Rob Roush did was unlock a meta that I hadn't thought about. And I'm calling this meta the I don't care to be here meta. And what I mean by that is every single person in that castle brought, like, the men brought suits, they brought lavish gowns, they brought these like big art piece outfits. Rob brought overalls, he brought tank top, he brought t-shirts. And I think that minimized him taking this seriously. That minimized a world where you're telling me the traitor, the marquee, the poster for the show is wearing regular outfits? Absolutely not. I think I did hear about the overalls that they bought him for him. Yes. The other stuff though, was his. The t-shirts were his. So I like that as a meta moving forward. The great equalizer. You're never going to think I'm nefarious if I'm wearing regular shit. And all of his answers at the reunion, he was like, yeah, it's a game, and which is fair. Which is absolutely fair. People taking it so personal in a game like Traitors and Big Brother is a huge pet peeve of mine. It's a game, people. Yes. I think people are allowed to feel, you're allowed to feel irritated, right? Like, especially in the moment, you were absolutely allowed. Like, the fact that Maura felt irritated and then within like a matter of minutes, like, you know what? I'm just a little in shock. You did well. I get it. But fucking hell, you're a good liar. And that is terrifying. So I like that. If I was playing Big Brother with someone for 75 days and they stabbed me in the back when I, was most vulnerable or least expected it, and I was marinated, of course I'm going to be hurt about it. Would I continue to be hurt about it a month later? I would hope not. Would I then be hurt about it at the reunion? I would hope not. But like, some people get to be that way. And like, it's not me, but I can't control how other people are going to be. What's the source about production buying overalls? Love that. I'm not sure. How did anyone see how Candace was dressed as Medusa and not clock she's a traitor? Right. Who's showing up to dinner with his bacon strip sweatshirt? Yeah, I mean, listen, I would class it up a little, right? Maybe a button up. Or a button up that's not buttoned up with a t-shirt underneath. Maybe something like a semi-cash gear. Not full blown like, all right, let's kick our feet up on the coffee table and get a tub of ice cream out. I'm not doing all that. It's a game that's much harder to think of as a game when there's such a big cash rush, right? I mean, when he says that line of, would you split 100,000 with someone you met 3 weeks ago? I wouldn't. All I could think was respect, because I wouldn't want to either, especially if I'm in the power position. If I'm Eric Nam, I would gladly split 200,000 with someone I've met 3 weeks ago because I don't think I can get it alone. I'm a Southerner and have an accent, and I know firsthand that people associate that with not being intelligent. I grew up on a farm. My dad and brother are farmers, and they both have college degrees and are successful. So many people just judge you by the accent. People judge you by the accent. They judge you by how you dress. They judge you by how you speak, what vocabulary set you have. They judge you by what color of your skin. They judge you by facial hair. They judge you by what your resting face is. Judgment everywhere. And I feel like with the Traitors, when you don't have a lot of things to go off of, I think people on a subconscious level genuinely do end up digging into that. And outfits, I think, are a huge part of that. Like, it was like a reverse peacocking with Rob. You know, I jokingly says he really was the main character, because how was this man dressed like a GTA character in a cutscene? Like, he was dressed so differently than everybody else that it looked like you were playing the game through his eyes and everyone else was coded into the game. And he did a good job of it. I think it's just so smart. And I would encourage more people to maybe dress down. Maybe don't do the most with outfits. Because also, you don't look like you care all that much, and you don't look like you prepared that much. It's not a bad shout. That being said, if I ever went on the show and I saw people dressing in civilian gear, like we're talking t-shirts and jeans, I will vote you out so quick. I do not trust you. But if you interview Rob, would you ask if his answers during the painting challenge were to play up acting like he wasn't smart? Jinx, that is a deep cut, because I don't even remember the challenge you're speaking of right now. But I will definitely ask him if he was playing up elements of himself to seem unintelligent. I could definitely do that. If I lost on a show, I would put the blame on myself. I wouldn't get mad at someone else. I don't think I could. I think ultimately I can't get mad at somebody else for making a decision they thought was good for them. Especially if they win. If they win, I can't be mad at you. You did what you needed to do to win. If they lose, I can't be mad at them, but I can be petty and be happy that they lost. Especially my thing is, all of you, and by you I mean all of the regular US season people, I'm pretty sure they get paid. Like Colton said, they got contracts to be there. They got money to be there. You already got money. What are you so mad about? You got to go have fun, play a game, and now you get to be on television. And the Traitors are a very lucrative show. People are going to be talking about you. You're going to get commercials. You're going to get deals. I think I like it because this translates to a lot of Big Brother strat. Probably not after this, but I could see him rocking it on BB with this kind of gameplay. Right. Favorite moment that wasn't anything Rob C did was Rob R's meow. That still caught me so off guard. We want to see the people that are low-key and social, but in the DRs like strat. Yes, Mandy. They all look like the high class in Hunger Games. Yeah, which honestly, a reminder, anyone go watch other Traitors seasons go watch UK. They're just dressed in stuff they would wear. They're not doing this like we're going to a gallery or this is high fashion. That is only a Traitors US thing. Only. That identify the painting from what the other team was showing, and Rob was just, oh yeah, I remember now. He was saying a lot of wrong things. I don't even think he would say that he thought that far, but I can ask some semblance of that question if we get time with him. I'll tell you this, I don't think we're getting time with him. Historically, if you win the Traitors, you know who's going to get time with you? Fucking Jimmy Fallon's going to get time with you. Kimmel's going to get time with you. Why weren't there exit interviews with Steven and Kristen? Did they decline? Well, there was an interview with Steven. I interviewed him. That was the one interview Rob wasn't there for, actually. That's on our page. Kristen, we just didn't get an availability for Kristen. To my knowledge, no one has declined. We reach out to the people, the production people, and they say, at this time, we don't have a time for you. Or they offer up, hey, we have these times available. Or we message them and they're like, let me see what we can do. We've had no, like, I'm not doing this podcast kind of thing. Yeah, Rob Roush on Fallon Tuesday. There we go. If I were to apply and get on the civilian Traitors, I'd feel like I need to get a stylist. You do not need to get a stylist. You do not need new clothes. I genuinely believe this. I do not think civilian Traitors is going to be people doing the most with their outfits. I don't. I thought it was weird with Rob and Bob didn't even have him on the official Traitors podcast. Did they not? Who did they have on theirs? I really like one of the plaid shirts or jackets that Rob had worn, but then I found a link to buy it. I saw the press and thought, I don't like it that much. I know which one you're talking. You're talking about the orange one, aren't you? Because I saw the same thing and reacted the same way responding. Someone asked, are you watching A Night of the Seven Kingdoms? Any thoughts? I have not started A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, so. I would have bought that orange shirt if it was cheaper, or I could find a good dupe. A good dupe could come a long way. New episode of Paradise really good too. I need to start it. I haven't even started Paradise yet. Lenny, welcome in. Me sitting here at work as a tax preparer, currently drowning in work. Okay, but the plaid jacket is a work expense, so we'll deduct it, as we like to say in this house. Any fun invites to Goose Goose this weekend? Great segue. Lori, first of all, I would say all invites are fun invites to Goose Goose. There will be no Goose Goose this week. There'll be no Goose Goose this week. We're taking a Yadis for a week, and then we'll be back next week. I know it's probably all up to schedules and gets, but if RHB did any more deep dive / meeting with other players like you did with Rob, I think that would be so fun. I loved hearing all the extra insights to how he was feeling in the moment for things like the arrival or car rides. If we were able to get anything to that level of detail, I'd be very happy. I don't know if any play, and the thing is, I don't think Rob would ask any of those players if they would want to do something that long with us, because I think he'd be like, no one else wants that, you know? I can tell you this, we have one locked in already, but I don't think it's one that's going to be on a lot of people's radars. If I could pick a couple to get for those insights, I would love to get, honestly, Lisa Rinna would be a banger pick. Rob Roush would be a banger pick for me. Those two would be ideal. If Natalie was up for it, I feel like Natalie could be good for the faithful side of things. Kristen Kish, Mark would be decent as well. I think those are the picks. Ooh. Nah, as much as Mora would be fun, I don't think Mora would be the one. And I don't think the Mora one goes longer than like 20 minutes. Not in like Mora doesn't have anything to say, just I can't picture Mora deep diving. You know what I mean? Eric could be a good shot also. I think Eric would contribute proper and would talk about both faithful side and traitor side. Oh, Red Wings, I've not finished. I'm about almost done the first episode of House of Villains currently. And already I know I'm going to binge the rest of it real quick. Who's your survivor winner pick after episode 1? That first 5 minutes had me in feels on the app. It was so good. I have a bit of a short list right now of people who it could be. I like Suri and I'd have to remember exactly. I have a feeling that anyone on Kyle's tribe, I just feel like that the way that episode ended felt very heavy-handed on his parting words. So that's kind of my short list. It's a big list, but it's a short list. Shorter, even. Totally set you up for that. Setting me up for what, Lori? That means obviously no fun advice this week. Yes. Oh, I see what you mean set up now. I get it. The GGD question. No, it's not her, Red Wing. Did the form get unpinned? You know it did. I don't know why. It was supposed to be up for an hour. I may have fucked up the pinning or something. I think if Mark would be open to it, he'd be a great shot. We heard about his game off header from Rob. Yeah, I mean, he's someone who also has watched all the seasons. So I feel like he would be... I could ask him deeper questions that I know he'll know what I'm talking about, you know? It's on default to 20. See, I thought I edited it to 60, Mandy, so that's my bad. Oh, the timer must be between 30 seconds and 30 minutes. You can only do 30-minute tops? Well, how about manually unpinned or end of stream then? Damn. Okay. Damn, I didn't know that. Okay, cool. This person has a heavier question they've put in the form. I would like to answer it for them because I do know that if they're asking, it's because they want some kind of advice. So just a heads up, it's to do with grief. So trigger warning on that for anybody. But they're asking for a general advice on grief. They're going through some waves of grief, and they're expecting something negative to come in the next couple of days. And how should they go about it? To that person, I say what I do in moments like that. First of all, be around loved ones. That always helps. That always matters. They're your people. The other thing I would say for me is, and this is how my brain works, I'm a big nostalgia guy. I'm a big memory guy, memory reels guy, meaning I like to replay great moments in my mind, whether it's great moments I've had with people, great moments I've had with I was about to say items, but prized possessions. I replay those memories in my head and they give me great joy, because at the end of the day, I think for me, life is collecting these moments, collecting these memories, and having the best reel one can have when all is said and done. So play those moments out and remember, you have your loved ones around you. Okay? You got this. It could be hard to have true comments with Mark since I'm sure he's limited on only talking about things seen in episodes and he was barely shown. That's an interesting question now that we're done, if they can say whatever or not. We'll see. It's weird if to back out. Yes, it's just yes. Thank you, man. No worries. I'm with you there on Suri. I thought there was no chance going in on the season, but after the first ep, I feel like it's Suri. I don't even know why either. I love Genevieve in the ep. I'm so scared for her, but I hope she goes deep. I hope so too. Y'all get some lesson twos in for the question asker. Appreciate that. The next question is about UK. Do you think the US celebrity trades would play differently if the money is for charity? Like, would Rob have kept Eric? It reminded me of how UK trader once would. No, I don't think the charity aspect helps. I think it all comes down to who the players are anyway. I don't think anyone's playing harder if it's for charity. If it's for charity, I think there's a level of, who cares about this? It's just a game, which is fine, but might also remove any cutthroatedness. So I don't think the game plays out any differently. Like, I don't think Rob goes, I'm going to keep Eric because that is the right move to do, because then 2 charities get paid. Is that the reason? I don't think that happens. I think you're still supposed to play for your charity. So it's like, if I'm saying this is the charity I care about the most, why wouldn't I want this charity to get all the money? You know what I mean? I'm begging you to apply for the next US Trader season. Will be a fun stream. A fun stream. What are you saying? Like I get on there and I'm out the first night? Yeah. No, chat. I appreciate this. I appreciate everyone who's brought it up, who's asked. All the podcasts that we've had, like Sandra bringing it up on the pod with me. It's a great sentiment, and I do appreciate it. But I'm genuinely where I need to be. This is the place I excel. I understand the game at a decently high level. I can see errors, I can see metas, I can see clues, and I love all that. I don't think that'll translate to playing it myself. And furthermore, I don't think I can handle being on television. I think that I used to say, Big Brother, absolutely not. I've warmed up to the idea of no show ever. So, yeah. So I do appreciate the sentiment, but it's not for me. One super helpful thing I've heard about grief is it's a line of ball bouncing around in a box. At first, the ball is super large and it hurts every time it hits the sides, but eventually the ball gets smaller, but it hits the sides. Although sometimes that's okay. Give yourself grace and understand it's a process. Again, so sorry questioning for your loss. Thank you, Mandy, for that. Civilians are the best people who are playing hard because they genuinely need the money. It brings out so much more. I think it brings out the I need this out of people. And I think, no, but the thing is, some people just still don't know what they're signing up for. But I do think the people that really want the money are really going to push. Whether they're going to push and be loud and wrong or push and be cutthroat, it's going to be entertaining all the same. I think the most offensive thing you can do to be on the Traitors is boring and ineffective. I also think if you go on the Traitors, you should never think about winning the money. You should think about just being a fun character or memorable character. Because, again, the nature of the luck that goes into the Traitors, I just don't see why you would, like, you can do the most calculated shit and still go out at, like, 7th. So, more so than a Big Brother or Survivor. Like, I know being boring on Big Brother Survivor is still not fun also, but I think you can be boring and get a result in Big Brother Survivor more than you can be boring and get a result in the Traitors. So, would you ever abandon Twitch for Patreon? No. I would not leave Twitch for anything. I didn't leave Twitch for YouTube. I didn't leave Twitch for Kick. I will not leave Twitch for Patreon. For me, this is where we were born, and this is where we will kick it, for lack of a better term. No, my advice to people is, to any streamer, content creator, is always, don't leave the place you originate from, because that's where people found you. That's where people are comfortable seeing you. I think leaving is always scary. And, you know, we've seen bigger streamers do this where, sorry, let me pause the music. We've seen bigger streamers do this where they actively will get like a big deal from like YouTube, and we've seen Twitch streamers leave to go to YouTube, like Ludwig. We've seen Myth go from Twitch to YouTube, Valkyrae go from Twitch to YouTube, and then we've seen people come back to Twitch. They always came back to Twitch. We saw Ninja go to Mixer, came back to Twitch. I think Twitch is still the number one place for streaming, easily, bar none. And I think for me, the size of audience we have, it would be foolish of me to leave. So first of all, I don't want to leave. Second of all, if I did, it would be stupid to leave, if that makes sense. Because I think that when you leave, you got to look at it this way, that like, not everyone's going to follow you there, first of all. Then you got to like reassimilate into a new spot. That's also not going to be ideal. And I think at the end of the day, Twitch has the better interface. Twitch, I think, has the better integrations for streaming, and it's the best. It's the best platform for it. YouTube is a second place for me. But no. And then I think for me also, not to get into the nitty gritty of it all, but specifically with Patreon, that's locking it all behind a paywall, and I think that would be I already feel very grateful for the support I get. And I've always said, your support means a lot. It's helped me continue to stream full time for the last how many years. But at the end of the day, if you're fine with ads, if you don't have an Amazon Prime, you can still watch the streams. And I think that's important to have also. So yeah. Them's my thoughts. Would you ever stream in multiple places at once? Kellyanne, honestly, I wouldn't, and it's for the exact same reason. I think that there's so I think there's a world where I could maybe justify going live on TikTok also, like doing a TikTok and having a vertical layout set up in alongside this, because that's two very different audiences. But I would not do multi-stream with YouTube, Twitch, Kick, none of that, because our audience is, our group, our community is way smaller and would be getting smaller, because let's speak it like this. I have YouTube Premium and have had YouTube Premium for the last 10 years. If someone I watch on Twitch now is on YouTube, I love Twitch more. I prefer to watch on Twitch way more. I would still watch it on YouTube because I don't get ads. If I'm not subscribed to the person, I'll watch on YouTube because I don't have ads. And now, if you're subscribed, you can do the toggle, like you can scrub through. On YouTube, you can do that on any stream. So for me, if my HQ is in one spot, I would lose people to the YouTube side. I would lose people to this platform. And I do a good job of reading my chat, which I'm happy about. I would be frozen. If I had to keep up with 3 chats at the same time. That would be a lot for me. And I think that multi-streaming is definitely the wave now. I think a lot of people do multi-stream to Twitch, to YouTube, to Kick, to TikTok. But I think if you're a smaller creator, I don't recommend it. I don't think there's discoverability that people think exists there. The only place I think discoverability could be, like I said, is TikTok, because it's a different audience vastly. But otherwise, I just see you breaking your audience in thirds or halves, you know? Kick is largely botted. YouTube is just hard to find live streaming. Yes and yes. YouTube's still the number one place for videos, but not for streaming. I like the croissant metaphor for grief. You start with a big butter block of grief, and then you, instead of it really ever leaving you, it becomes more spread about you. The grief always have lived within you, just more manageable. Well put, Jinx. Loyal followers can take a long time to acquire, but can be lost quickly. Absolutely. Absolutely can, Athelia. Getting off as I'm in the UK and it's late, but I just want to say a huge thanks and give you props for your coverage of all the recent Trader seasons. Thank you, CFits. Such fun content. You've been doing a great job. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you so much, CFits. And we will be back. We will be back for more Traitors whenever that hiatus lifts. But until then, y'all can, of course, catch me talking Australian Survivor every week, as well as 90 Day, as well as The Lounge with Liana, which we're doing our big social reality TV episode this week. Should be fun. Should be a good time, chat. I think there's value in leaving platforms if the situation can't be livable. Facebook had a creator system that crashed, for example. Right. I do think like if the environment starts crashing or is not working for you, you can absolutely try something different. It's because it seems that it is about the message and not the money. I think the thing is, like, obviously every creator will tell you that if the money's good, the money's good. That's great. But I think also there is a level of, and it depends from person to person. It depends from audience to audience, community to community, size to size. But for me personally, I've always been very grateful for what I have, because I remember streaming the first 6 months with monetization off because we couldn't have monetization on. And I loved every bit of it. I streamed so many hours because it was incredible. I enjoyed myself. You enjoyed yourselves. You were coming back every session also. So for me, I'm like, we always will have that no matter what happens. And that's always going to be the main thing for me. That's always going to be the thing that matters most. I don't think Taryn's leaving Twitch for what it's worth. I think he's lessened his time on Twitch, but I don't think he's leaving Twitch. I'm assuming the person who brought up the question was asking potentially because Taryn has more so moved to Patreon. Again, big assumption on my part. I'm not sure. TikTok has more trolls. That's fair. Also, people just like scrolling through on TikToks. How do you do with RHAP live chat? That one moves pretty quick. Zara, I've gotten pretty good at the RHAP live chat, but that's also because the Twitch RHAP live chat moves slower. So the YouTube one I can keep an eye on, and I have a good idea of what's going on. And I know what to look for and what to avoid now too. It's like the more you look, the more you'll know kind of thing. I can see people finding new subscribers on YouTube. So many people don't really get on Twitch. That's the thing, Amy, is that for me, I feel like Goose Among Us is what brought RHAP, like Twitch existed, right? RHAP and Twitch existed on the same timeline. It wasn't till end of 2020 that a lot of RHAP folks found Twitch through Among Us, through at the time sequester games that were happening. Twitch was kind of an unknown for a lot of people, myself included. I wasn't really watching Twitch like that. And then it really boomed for our audience on Twitch. YouTube is good if you already have an audience built in there. But YouTube, if you're a YouTube creator who has, like, let's say, for example, if I streamed on my YouTube channel that has about 1,500 subscribers, I think, and let's say I post that I'm going live, I think maybe we'll get 40 people. And it depends what the stream is, but I think we get about 40 is my view. And that's just because I think streaming on YouTube is not quite as normalized as Twitch. I think people still go to YouTube for their video needs more. I get what you're saying about, because I have YouTube Premium also, and that's what I've done with Taryn. I subscribe to his Patreon, but it's $15 a month. That's a little steep for me right now. That's fair. That's absolutely fair. When's the next AU Survivor season airing? Hack. It started last week. 3 episodes are out, I believe, so far. So make sure you check it out. Do you think Civilian Traitors will come back after Big Brother? I think so, AZ. That's my guess. My guess is it's going to be in the fall, side by side with Survivor 51. If I had to, and I'm not making this on anything but an educated guess, just because they wouldn't want it to run side by side with regular Traitors in January, and I would think fall makes the most sense. If not fall, it'll be like March next year. So we'll see. Liking the AU coverage so far, rooting for Brooke. Hey, have a good evening, CFIS. Take care. Good night. So during RHAP stuff, if we want to make sure y'all see our messages more, probably best to post on Twitch. I wouldn't say that respawning. I think not everyone has both chats open. I do. Most people might have one open, if any. So if you want me to see it, I'll see it. AZ with a 10 gifted. Holy crap. Thank you so much, AZ. Appreciate you. Welcome in Melancholic Ice T, Demir, Other Caitlin, Just Sin, Chug, Purple Mario, Prince 10. Love it. Meridian Review back in the building. And Autumn says, appreciate AZ. Thank you so much, AZ. Thank you. HRH Breezy, how you doing? I really missed the sequester meta. Honestly, for a while, Org was life. Org was life. The sequester meta was a good summer in 2020. It really was a healthy distraction to the outside world. But then all good things must come to an end. And that, low-key for me, stopped being a good thing for a little bit before it got to the end, you know? Chrissy, that's absolutely fair. Speaking of streams, I just did my first art stream. Hi! Congratulations, Antira. That's awesome. Hitting go live the first time is the hardest thing you can do. After that, it gets all easy. Gotta play with the mic. You suggested more. I think I messed up some settings. I kept cutting out. Make sure your noise gate isn't set too high, because you might want to be, I'm assuming you're doing stuff to make sure your background audio doesn't like go scratchy, but sometimes that'll cut like higher pitch stuff. So make sure it's not set too high. If you want to try it out, I'm pretty sure there are softwares you can use will make you hear yourself, or open Audacity. Audacity is a free recording software. You can use Audacity to record your audio, speak, and then stop and hear it back and see how it sounds to you. I wish we got edited versions on Peacock the next day. Personally, I like the realness of the cursing. I agree. But because it's on NBC, I do feel like sadly the cursing is going to be gone. But I feel like Civilian will be fall and they'll push normal until March. Interesting. I could see that. When I went to the AZ Survivor Idol, the guy behind me played orgs with Kim Matina. She was literally right next to me 5 minutes after getting there. Incredible. So I asked him if he played Squash, but it was a different one. Okay, cool. Yeah, there's a lot of orgs out there. A lot of orgs. And a lot of LRGs. I feel like we moved from orgs and now LRGs have become the more new hotness. Plan recording with OBS and watching back. There you go. There you go in here. That's a good shout. All right, chat. What's the next question in the forum? Just wanted to say I'm sorry to everyone for defending Andy Cohen so much as the reunion host last night. Not an excuse, but Bravo shows have gotten me through some hard times, and I just got defensive. No. You're all good. You are all good, my friend. Absolutely feel no sorrow for that. I think that I actually got a message from a close friend of mine today being like, why do you hate Andy? And I was like, I don't hate Andy. I think I had a bit of self-reflection overnight. I just don't like reunion shows. I don't think reunion shows hit. Whether it's, I don't even want to blame the host on the questions. I just don't think reunions ever hit the way I want them to hit. He was also friends with Roma. Small world, Mandy. We only have so many AZ survivors, though, so I understand. There you go. I like RG better with cursing, but I have a potty mouth. It just feels more natural instead of like people holding back. I still try and not cuss in the first like 10 minutes of a pod just because I don't know if it's still a thing with YouTube monetization where if you cuss in the beginning, it gets demonetized. I mean, let me not try that, you know? But yeah, you got to just accept the reunions for what they are. Yes, honestly, and that's what it is. That's why I was like, you know what? Fuck it. It's fine. I think more so last night I tried to focus on the winners and losers of the reunion more than the host. I just feel like every host does this cringe thing where they ship a couple, and I hate that they do that so much. I also hate that Rob ended up in the group with Rappaport because Rappaport ended up hogging most of the fucking mic time. But have you ever had the Shamrock Shake? It's my personal McRib feeling whenever it comes back. I just ordered one to be delivered. I wonder your thoughts. I've never had it because, and I think it has mint in it. Hold on. Shamrock Shake. Yeah. Vanilla soft serve, mint syrup, and whipped cream. I don't like mint. I do not like mint in my sweets. So that's why I'm hard out on the Shamrock Shake. Not in a I'm yucking your yum way, but in a I know I wouldn't enjoy it way, if that makes sense. It just wasn't a very good reunion show. It was like they were trying to make it a Housewives reunion. It's just weird not to have everyone up there. The Bachelor and Survivor are a good example of a better way to do it. I think the other thing also is that we talked about this a little bit last night, but if a Housewives reunion works if everyone's about that life. But when Rob Roush wants nothing to do with the smoke, when Colton's not even fighting back, then it's not gonna, we're not gonna get the results we're looking for. Like the closest we got to the Housewives vibe or the fiery vibe was when Rappaport was having a go at Portia, and even then people, I don't want that because fuck Michael Rappaport. So I have a Shamrock Shake every year for my friend who died of cancer 10 years ago. It used to be a thing for, aw, Christian, that's sweet. Does anyone, when they're sick, feel mentally low? Of course. Feeling sick comes with a lot of emotion also. I feel like some people might forget that. But aside from like feeling weak or tired, you can feel down. You can feel negatively about yourself. It's absolutely a thing. Who do you think the next two Survivor 50 boots will be? Oof. I don't know who's going to Tribal next, but if the tribe, I'm gonna call it Kyle's tribe, goes, I don't feel good about that fucking alliance that exists because that majority alliance now lost Kyle and doesn't have 2 votes in it. So I feel bad for them, but also I don't think there's a solid other side. So maybe. The other thing I would say is that I'm very worried about D on the tribe she's on. Because if I remember correctly on that tribe, I'm pretty sure D is firmly on the outs. And I'm pretty sure all those people have their votes. So I don't love where D is sitting right now. I'm very worried about D. So I could give you like a Q and D. I think D for sure. I don't know. Maybe Q the other one. I don't know. What's the other tribe? Fuck, I can't think of the other tribe. Also, someone, was it Daisy? Was it you earlier that was saying if Jeff retires, Rob would be a good replacement? I feel like I vaguely remember seeing that message, but I was in the middle of talking and then I forgot to go back to it. If you're still here, let me know. You got to always remember, AZ, you'll be back on the men soon come. It's just a moment of weakness. And we all have that. Since we don't have Goose Goose Duck, do you think we'll get some marbles tonight? Listen, we'll see. We'll see. I'll be honest, the reason the stream started about 10 minutes late is because I went to say goodnight to Liana and then I laid in bed and I didn't pass out, but I started getting my eyes got very heavy and I was like, I gotta fucking leave. I gotta go, Liana. I gotta go stream, sorry. Hey, Daisy, was it you that said that about Survivor, the host? And I missed it? Cupcakes, welcome in. How you doing tonight? Hello. You're in later than usual, I feel like. Or like starting in later than usual, I guess is what I should say. You thought I wasn't going to make it to the pan after the Traitors finale? Be straight. Appreciate you being here. Me. It was you? Okay. You were putting Rob's name in the hat. I think Rob would be a brilliant replacement. Would they do it? That's the question for me. I don't know. I think Rob would be an absolutely phenomenal replacement. U.S. men's hockey team, Goats or Bingham? I mean, okay. Good. I mean, they literally won a gold medal for U.S. hockey, first time in 40 some years. So good. That's great, right? Laughing and then defending that joke that was made at the expense of the women's team. Bingham, straight Bingham. Yes, we're talking Rob Sesternino. Yes, that's it. I think, low-key, getting JLP would be such a banger move. I don't know if they do it ever, but that would be an amazing move. Bronco, they with the prime, so I appreciate it. Welcome back from month number 3. Thank you for using one prime on me, Bronco. Appreciate you. Better late than never. Hey, welcome in, Sarah Lynn. Hello. Mr. Cupcakes and I had date night. Went to a pottery class. Ooh, did you make anything, Cupcakes, or just you tried some stuff? You tried messing with the clay. Checking in from Lurker. Check Gracie on Traitors. Maddie, thank you so much for coming out of lurk mode for that. Appreciate it. I'm happy you enjoyed the Trader season with me. He's currently working and living in LA from what I read today. So he's around, is what I'm hearing. Okay. Liana and I are about to have a very fun story for the pal chat because we have tickets to tomorrow's home opener for the Minnesota United football team. Football, I mean soccer. It is currently predicted to be tomorrow's predicted to be a high of 19 degrees Fahrenheit for my Canadians and myself, -7 Celsius, and a high of and a low of 5 degrees Fahrenheit no. Yeah, -7 Celsius and -15 high versus 19 degrees and 5 degrees Fahrenheit. And it's supposed to snow. And we're going to a soccer game. This might be up there with one of the worst decisions we've made. We'll see. Hopefully it doesn't feel as cold. As long as the wind chill isn't there, we might live. We'll see. Very, very terrible bowls were made. I tried to make a cup and feel. Oh no! As long as you had fun though. I think Traitors producers like Rob C more than CBS producers do, to be honest. I think CBS has a lot of like roster. I think they will regret that they didn't have Rob on. But if this season ends up being successful, I don't think they bat an eye at their decisions. You know what I mean? Went to see the 2-week-old miniature pygmy hippo. Oh, cool. Get some Baileys and some hot paws, and you'll be. What is a hot paw, little Miss Andre? What is a hot paw? Can you help me understand Twitch channel points? I don't think it's emphasized much on your channel, but for others who do predictions and such, why? I understand it's fun and interactive, but I'm not sure what points do. So, if your streamer of choice has them set up right, you can redeem channel points for a lot of things. For example, on my channel specifically, I don't have a lot of good things. I've always asked for suggestions, but I have an option where you can pick a sound drop. I have an option where you can make everyone get the lesson 2s in. I have an option where you can select what hat I wear on Goose Goose or Among Us. But I need to add more. Some other streamers, and I always like to use this example because he's the homie. I've not really seen or talked to him in a minute, but shouts out to him always. Glances. Glances to me was the best example of channel points because Glances had channel point redeems where you could mess with his lighting in the background. He had channel points where you could stretch out the camera. He had a channel point would add an image onto or take a photo, a snapshot of the moment on stream. So Glances was the king of that. Another streamer I'll call out is Flex. Flex has gotten it set up where when you use a certain amount, you get what's it called? You get you put on the voice changer, and her voice gets modulated for like a good minute or so. I have over 1 million. Please let me do things. Liv, if you have good suggestions, we'll do something. You can make him a bongo cat. See, that was amazing. I remember that also, Mandy. So we need to figure out some good ones to do, and we need to figure out some good ones to do that are not just going to be distracting. I think I can make it set up where there's a cooldown where you can't just spam them, and especially because I feel like for the you're not shaving. Liv, with all due respect to all of you, if you think I'm going to shave my beard for the free, absolutely not. I will stream for the free. I will shave my beard for not even is the $1 million? Is it dollars? It's not dollars now, is it? Hell, I don't think I'd do it for 1 million cents. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But yeah, a redeem that could be reasonable. We can figure it out. It's not very channel points. And I mean, channel points are the ultimate currency because you make them with your time. And that's what matters. Like a community goal, I'm open. Listen, if you have suggestions, put them in the feedback form. I will look through them. But I'm looking for more so daily pickups as opposed to like a long-term one. Like I'm looking for more fun, like, ooh, stream to stream basis type thing. 1 million points personalized song. I make a song for somebody, Cupcake? Is that what you mean? Can we do something with the soundboard? Is that too distracting? See, that's a great question, AJ, because I do think that we can have some sound redeems for sure, but I would make those be worth quite a bit just because I would want people to not be able to do one every day kind of thing. We'd have to figure out the economy for that. What is the amount? I still owe Chad a diss track. This is true. But yeah, I would like to see what the economy looks like, as in, would 20,000 be reasonable for a redeem? Can I pay to buy Live a personalized song? You can, Mandy. Absolutely you can. Yes. Yes, you can. All right, what's next in the form? One more question in the form. Tuned into Survivor 50 without knowing anyone but Suri. Really liking Q Jonathan and Mike White so far. Any seasons I should watch based on that? Mike White, watch 37. Q, watch 46. Jonathan, watch 42. You could do like Andy from The Office and let us put a tattoo on you. He did his butt, but you could pick a different place. I have one tattoo on me, chat. You don't get to pick the second ever tattoo on my body. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Completely different topic, but a random thought I just had. If our 50 cast was a Traitors cast, who are we making the Traitors and who do we think wins? Great question. I mean, Suri literally has experience. We could just put Suri in there again. Let me look at the cast. I think you make Q a traitor. And then I'm going to pick one more. That one more for me is going to be... I pick Angelina. Oh, I'm between Angelina or Genevieve for the third traitor. Rizgod was a fourth option for me. D is not a bad shout. But I think I see D as more of a good, like, strong faithful. For $1 million, the mods run the streams for like an hour. What does that mean, though? They decide what we do for an hour, AZ? Like Color Champ, redeem 1 per stream. Mandy, I think I can set that up. I can message Flex and ask her, but I think I have light fixtures that should allow you to be able to do that. I think that should be doable. I did see Dan's comment on RizGod, and I did see that Dan and RizGod got to talk on Insta Live. D could be good on either side of the coin. I do agree with that sentiment. They go on. Do the mods want to do that? That is the question. Do Mandy and Liv want to be on stream? And running the stream, mind you. Christian is first murder, first roundtable vote up. I don't think so. He could be first murder. I don't think he's first roundtable vote up. I see someone more like a coach being a first roundtable vote out than Christian. Mike White for Traitors? That'd be fun. Jacked Mike White, I still can't get over. I'm not going to lie. Did you answer this and I just missed it? Pooya, has Rob said if Alan knows about RGB Traitors? Yes, I answered. I mentioned that Rob hasn't said anything about that, and I feel like he wouldn't have asked Alan, so I don't think Alan knows about it. About RGB Traitors and Rob's many outfit changes. How many points to make a new emote for the stream? So let me, Lori, if you don't mind me asking, this might be too much pressure. What is an example of, if you, let's say you had the points to make a new emote, what would that be? And does that mean you make the emote and you give me it and then I have to use the emote? Or are you suggesting an emote and I have to go get one? You know what I mean? I appreciate your faith in us, AZ. Why would they vote out Coach, though? He has so much integrity. Oh, my God. His integrity's through the roof. The Wharton Bros for Traitors. If you could have only one Wharton Bro on the Traitors, AZ, you picking Corey or Zach? Who are you picking? I was thinking of suggesting an emote. Suggesting an emote's a good shout. The thing is, there's two things. Because either the emote already exists and I can just go get it. Like, for example, Dokes, right? Dokes is a GIF that I got off the internet, right? Or is it a custom that I need to like ask Mandy if Mandy can make, or Liv if Liv can make, or then outsource beyond that and go find someone to make the emote, if that makes sense. Depends. And then is it for a limited amount of time or is it a permanent one? Corey would be so too obvious. I really love the Wharton Bros pod on the Genius. That feels like it was a good month. And then the show got canceled, but Corey Trader, if we have an Izzy faithful, oh my God. I need Izzy in that castle so badly. So badly. If your team made the round of 16 or quarterfinals for the World Cup, how much are you willing to pay for tickets? Plural? I can't lie. And we'll say my team is Iran in this situation because Iran's never been to the round of 16. I think I would pay $1,000 to go watch a game. Because to me, it would feel like it's once in a lifetime. Not that I don't trust they could make it there again, but they've never made it this far in my life, so maybe they never do again. But I know $1,000 is probably like a reasonable price at that point. I would much rather pay $500. $1,000 would be like my absolute max money. My ceiling. Have a great time at the Loons game. We're not going to test it out until it warms up. You're doing the right call, Hack. I felt prone to two things. James Rodriguez being a Loon now, and also the tickets being very cheap, and also the first 10,000 people get a t-shirt, I think. And I was like, sure, $20 per ticket, we'll take it. And now I'm like, I legitimately looked at Leanne, I was like, we're going to leave at halftime, aren't we? She was like, well, we'll see. I was like, okay, we'll see. So. Morgan's someone who's very passionate. Morgan and I have been talking a lot about the Traitors offline. I don't get enough slots, permanent slots for permanent emotes, right? But a nice little chunk of time would be cool for seasonal emotes. I like a 2-month or 3-month redeem. If we do it where you can only have one person redeem it every 3 months or something, I think that would work. That could work, absolutely. And it can be in a community spot. Like one of my slots can just be designated for like community choice kind of thing. Let me check and see what my emote slots look like right now. By that I mean how many I have. Because if y'all remember, emote slots are unlocked based on a certain, I think there's a ceiling where you unlock all of them, but it was based on how many subs you have to hit a threshold of subs to unlock them. Not monthly to maintain them, but just once. And we unlocked a lot of them that first month of my streaming because y'all came through with the support and love early doors. Let me see. What was the... Okay, so we have 29 slots. 29 total slots. We actually have 9 slots for animated emotes or GIFs that I should fill up soon. I still haven't gone around to do. I have more slots for tier 2 and tier 3. See, I've never, and I do appreciate anybody who's tier 3 and tier 2. The support is incredible, and you know that the pay cut difference for those is higher for me, but I would love to figure out a way to justify some perks for a tier 2 or tier 3. I just don't know what those could be. But to go back to the answer, the question, 29 spots. I could give up 1 or 2 for this idea. They did sign James Rodriguez, Red Wings. They did. Had no idea. I was very surprised when it happened. That t-shirt should be an Insta stream outfit. What? The t-shirt I get from the game? Just realized they're playing my favorite team I work for, FC Cincinnati. Oh, hell yeah. Prepper, she'd be great at Traitors, but especially if she studied up. Yes. I want Amber from the season of Love is Blind in the castle. She would drag those Traitors for filth. Cupcakes, is this season a watch or a not watch? What do you think? So we can get Kathy back. Kathy is long gone. Just kittens. Just kittens. Kathy just, I needed to make room for, sorry, other stuff. Hold on. How would I be able to see my, I feel like there was a way to, oh, there we go. Found it. Never mind. Sorry, my bad, chat. How about this? Jimmy, I believe you're a tier 2 sub, right? You now have the Kathy emote because there's a slot open, so why not have it? You now have the Kathy emote. There are a lot of hot garbage men this season, but it's entertaining as all get out. Oh, hell yeah. Mama Fee, I'll never forget her letting Jag have when he was wearing that chicken suit. Felicia would be so fun on the Traitors. So fun on the Traitors. All right. Where's the form? All right, we're caught up with the form, chat. If you want to put something new in the form, feel free to do so. Exclamation advice. If not, put in the chat here. That's fine also. That's allowed. We will take it. We'll take all the questions. Mandy! Mandy said, be right back. I'm trying to get the Kathy emote. Yeah, the only two exclusive emotes to tier 2 are the finger guns and the Kathy emote. And Jimmy and Mandy get to use both. Yeah, hey, enjoy. Just right now, I don't have any slots available. So for now, that's fine. But yeah, chat, honestly, if at any point you have feedback from me or any ideas come up, you're like, hey, this is something you could do for channel points, or hey, this is a perk that you could do for like a tier 2, tier 3 or stuff, please just put it in the feedback form. I will read through them. At the end of the day, I'm not going to do something unless it's something that's going to be beneficial to us or fun, you know? I actually really like this idea, Lori, for this emote. What do we think is an appropriate charge amount? $1 million? 3 months, $1 million seems steep for that. 500K? Like, I think the problem is I don't know what the average channel points is here. What do people have? You know, fire off in the chat. What are your channel points sitting at right now? And I'll get to know better based on like how long people have been here and how much they're sitting on. $443, $249, $81, $243, $264, $274. Jimmy has well over 500. Mandy says 566, but I bought a gauntlet. You did. You spent a lot of that as well. AJ's just been sitting on some. Tara's about to hit a milli. You've got 52, but you spent a lot. There you go. Okay. 200,000, 52, 231. Never used it. Okay, see? So 231, about the 200-ish slot is the most right now. Also, thank you for that hype train we've got going now. Really do appreciate it. Thank you. So 200,000 seems to be 250 is about the average by the sounds of it. You lost a lot in bets. Honestly, that's the only place you can gain a lot or lose a lot here. Because I don't have a lot of the good redeems or the big redeem items. So that makes sense. So 250K could be, we could set it at like 300,000. 300,000 could be good because also we will, when we do marbles weekly, that is also a good place for you to redeem and get more. Tara with the 63 months. Thank you so much, Tara. Appreciate you. Thank you. Because we don't run, I think Taryn is someone who definitely has been doing channel point wagers a lot and does them like during every, like all the watch parties and like does multiple during every watch party if I understand correctly. But for me, it's a lot more far and few in between because we only really do wagers for marbles. What do you marbles weekly? Okay, but if I committed to doing them weekly is what I'm saying. Okay? If we committed to a cheeky 5 every week, then we're cooking with gas. Starting March, we could do that. There's no ads with the Traitors, so it's more difficult. Yes, we don't have commercial break ones. And like, we already have the bingo card, or we were doing bingo cards. But yeah. I think 300K might be the move for the emote. I like that idea. I'll talk to the mods and see what they think. How are you feeling about living in Minneapolis now? You were high on it when you first moved there. Are you feeling the same pros and cons? Yes, I feel good about it still, you know. I'm enjoying Minneapolis. I think that for me, just it feels like more of a city that has like support. What I mean by that is for example, New Haven, Connecticut. I feel like as a state, Connecticut doesn't have all these like professional teams. There's no like Connecticut didn't feel like, hey, we are backing this. I don't know. It's hard to explain. But Minnesota actively has like a sense of it's us. We are a team. So I like that. I really thought I was going to not like the being on the East Coast. I think once I wrap my head around the fact that, well, I'm still Jabina and Breezy. Thank you for the 5 bits apiece. Appreciate both of y'all. Thank you. Once I wrap my head around the fact that I'm just an hour earlier than East Coast, I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. The amount of times I've done the math, I'm like, wow, if I was in New Haven, I'd be going to bed at 9 a.m. right now. That didn't help. That was good. So the time zone difference is good. And then I've enjoyed like everything. There's everything within a 20-minute drive from us, which I do think is great. I've loved where we live. I love living in a house. I love living in a house where I'm like, I can be as loud as I want to be. Ain't nobody going to be upset about it, which by the way, not that that ever mattered. At the apartment we lived, we never had a problem with me being loud or noise from us, but not having to deal with shitty neighbors is huge. And I think I didn't realize how huge it was because our apartment building, people were leaving garbage out. People were leaving cigarette butts everywhere on the stairwell outside. People were leaving garbage on the stairwell instead of running it all the way down. It was horrible. So for me, it's been a net positive. And then obviously, speaking of net, fiber internet over regular internet, 10 times out of 10 would recommend. So yes. I'm very happy. And also having the state fair was pretty sick also. Barbecue action, May, you know me well. Getting to barbecue at my own home, 10 out of 10 experience, phenomenal. Getting to sit outside during the summer was absolutely great. I can't wait to do that again. And honestly, the snow has not been too bad, but I also, and this might be a little nutty from me, I love having 4 seasons. I love having snow. I like having that. I like going through all life has to offer, snow being a part of it. So. Be honest, it's all about Culver's. Hey, Culver's plus. State Fair plus. So there you go. Overall, very happy. And chat, once again, thank you for that hype train. Really do appreciate it. Thank you. Have you been driving? No. I have still not been behind the wheel of a car since 2022. How much time per week do you spend outside your home, like going out into the world? Let's see. I'll give you this week. Or I'll give you the last week. But last week I was... let's see, it was a little more active. I'm trying to do the math real quick. Six hours? Not a lot. Especially in the winter, not a lot. I've not been going out a lot. But I've been getting into the habit of going outside, taking a walk, because you need to do that. That's absolutely vital. Y'all plan to go any Twins games this season? Still have to check that off my list. Liana really enjoyed going to a baseball game. I think we will at least go to one game. Probably a theme night. We will try and go to. I just feel like when it's available to us, why not do it? You know? So I think so. Maybe watching any of Claudia Winkleman's new show. Is that a talk show she's doing, RHA fan? I'd be down to check it out. I wouldn't actively seek it out, not on like some disrespectful type thing, but I don't think I'd be focused on that, if that makes sense. If it came across my desk, I would check it out for sure. Last question in the forum is, what are your Survivor 50 thoughts? I thought the premiere was good, but so good for Kyle. Same. Genevieve was also so well positioned, but Kyle's exit might affect that, which worries me. Same. Savannah was getting on my nerves with her Suri comments. So sick of her. I didn't find anything Savannah did to be offensive to me. I'm very intrigued by Savannah's positioning. I actually feel like I think D is probably the worst positioned winner, even though Kyle went out already. But D's the one I've been worried about the most. So we'll see how she does and how it goes for her. Do you watch Survivor solo, or do you tune into a streamer's watch party, or does it depend on the night? I watch Survivor downstairs in the living room with Liana. Same way I do Big Brother. I don't have a watch party open for those two shows. And honestly, it's because Liana is so busy with work now that those are the only two shows it feels like. That and like obviously Severance and what was that fucking show we just watched with the hive mind? What was that called? Pluribus. Thank you so much, Lex. That was going to ruin me. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Pluribus, Severance, Survivor, and Big Brother. I think Savannah's in trouble now also with Devon's. I'm very curious where that tribe goes. If Alan Carter was legit where Alan buys a castle in Scotland to make it a hotel as a TV show, will you and Rob go to that TV show as hotel guests? This may be the only chance of a White Lotus-like experience. I'd be fine with that. Great lineup. Thank you, Lex. Yeah. So because Liana had limited TV time, those I watch with her. And that's why I'm able to more so live tweet or post about those shows as opposed to the Traitors, because I'm living that through with y'all. I'm like, I don't have time to do all that. But you know, in the event that Liana's out of town or Liana's like, I'm not watching the show, I usually watch up here, and I'll have some other stuff on in the background also potentially. So, all right, chat. I'll be honest with you, my eyes are starting to get very heavy, so I think sleep is imminent. I intend on figuring out this right, and I think I would in the future want to take a nap earlier in the day. The only reason I didn't take a nap today was because it was way too late, and I really got worried I was gonna oversleep after what Liana said happened last week. So let's do the last couple of the questions. Next week we'll do marbles. I'll commit to that right now. A cheeky 5 imminent. Can you talk to Rob about having a live event in Phoenix? We are within 6 hours of LA, San Diego, Vegas, and Albuquerque. AZ, pitch the case to Rob. I think AZ would be a decent spot for him also, weather-wise, I feel like. I think that would be possible. And then that's like a little bit different also. It's not LA, which we've had events at. I think, have we had an event in San Diego? It feels like we may have. Vegas, I know a lot of people wanted to go. We've not gone. This could be the, what's the word? Alternative. Or the compromise, not alternative. Isn't Tyson there also? If that isn't the most built-in co-host. Are you starting a slumber party tomorrow? Yes. Yes, I am. And y'all should be too. We're going to have a fun time with the slumber party tomorrow night in the Discord. So if you're not in the Discord already, get there. But yeah, join us tomorrow night. We're going to do movie, and then we're going to play some Goose Goose. We're going to have a good time. The mods have worked really hard to put some fun stuff together, so make sure you pull up if you haven't already. I haven't planned on already. Ooh, a Vegas RSG event. Honestly, I thought Vegas was going to happen this year. I did. What are the strongest lines you see on 50? Which ones will be going the farthest? I think, despite Kyle leaving, that group just feels locked in to me. So we'll see. I also think it's tough to answer because I do think in a returnee season like this, if they did a swap, like, which who the fuck knows if they ever would, but if they did a swap in like 2 votes, that changes everything. But like I said earlier, I feel good about the Kyle tribe ultimately. A Seattle event could be fun also. I'm going to Seattle in July for the World Cup. Takes notes for his case. So episode 3 title swap related. Are you serious, Red Wings? Already? Interesting. Oh, that changes everything. June 4, Prince varsity jacket night at the Twins. What? I mean, I would love to add to the Prince collection we already have going now. That would be sick. I want to see it, though. Show me a photo of it. Devon's a Christian. I think that's a good 2 for sure. For sure. It's did you vote for a swap? Oh yeah, and you know we did. If there's no swap, I'm calling bullshit. Like I'm already calling bullshit about a lot of things. I'm calling buller shit, if that makes sense. Why is it ordered by most expensive to least? Give me the lowest price ticket. There we go. That's more like it. 21 bucks. Although, is this with the Prince bundle? It better be. Yet another opportunity to get an outfit to match Leon. I mean, she keeps wanting these matching outfits. We'll keep knocking them out with these picks. So, yeah, I got to definitely sign up for these tickets. Ozzy kind of owned the episode. I think I saw he had like 19 confessionals. Ozzy, I think, was one of the main or the main character of the season so far. Him, Coach. The him and Coach storyline is going to get a lot of mileage. It already feels like that, so we'll see. Did you watch Kyle's exit interview? He had more going on lines-wise. Kyle was the most safest person on his tribe, which is even more heartbreaking. The most safest person on his tribe. So, hey, life happens, man. I think the good news is for Kyle, he goes home in a bit of a robbed situation and already had the million. Already had $1 million sitting at home. So that's good. We're happy about that. Is Iran in the bracket with the U.S.? In what regards? Are we talking World Cup? No, Iran's in a group with the Netherlands, New Zealand, and Egypt. No, was it the Netherlands? No. Yes? No. No. Fuck. Who the fuck? Belgium. Not Netherlands. Belgium. Belgium, New Zealand, Egypt. Yeah. I said Netherlands. And I'm like, that doesn't sound right. Netherlands is very strong. I feel like I was very happy with who we got as Belgium. Baby announcement at the end. I love that. Corey did a brand deal on his premiere with most of his connection from the previous stuff in, and Kyle won it. Damn. I was so upset when I read Bloom's article that Kyle was already up but came back down to help Colby. Yes. Same. Samesies. All right, chat. I hope you had fun with me tonight. I do appreciate you being here. No Goose Goose this week, so everyone enjoy your weekend. We'll be back next, stronger than ever. Next Friday. Maybe we'll do a stream during the week. Just keep your eyes peeled. Also, we will be recording around the same time we would have done the stream. I am recording the Pal with Liana. It's gonna be a big episode. We're gonna talk Survivor, Traitors, House of Villains, all in one pod. My plan is to have the logo of each corresponding show on like the bottom left or right, so that if people wanted to scrub through and avoid spoilers for a show, they could just go ahead and do that. And we can do that. If we can check your streams after stream. Taylor, Twitter or Blue Sky? I think you're on Blue Sky permanently now, right? But I believe you sent it to me here. Twitter because images got you. Oh yeah, I'll check it out after. Yeah, you got it. Thank you, chat. Thank you. But yeah, I'll be back. Like I said, Friday most likely. There are a couple of shows, a couple of games that I would like to try out at some point with some friends that are coming up. So I gotta message the old friends and see when we can get together. Maybe get together the peak crew for some new games. Okay, so be on the lookout for those. I'm not guaranteeing them to be next week, but I gotta get the band together, so to speak. All right. Appreciate you, chat. Good night, good night. Have a good weekend. I'll catch you next week. Bye. Also, Mandy, thank you so much. I've been